One, when did you find out that the strike zone buffer zone was shrunk
Hmm.
on you guys? And two, how much does that change your livelihood? Because people don't realize catchers get paid for framing. It's not just a value you bring to the team, it's how you're evaluated. And how much has that changed your framing and everybody's framing numbers and value?
Yeah, this is a very real thing. And I've talked to umpires about it and trying to work with them. I've pretty much revamped what I'm doing behind the plate, to be honest with you, and that's been within the last week or two. And this is a big reason because of it. Um, I don't know how much you guys had spoken on it yet, but I know that the buffer zone that umpires have dropped down an inch and a quarter from what it used to be. It used to be 2 inches, now it's three-quarters of an inch around the zone. That makes a big difference for people that, I mean, haven't been back there catching, that know what it's like. It's tough, and I don't know how much the ABS in spring training have to do with it or whatever, but um, I these umpires are good. Like they know there's a big difference. Like if there's a change like that, then we notice it. And to answer your question, it has been tough on me, to be honest with you. Like coming in after games, I feel like I'm catching some balls well, and we're not getting certain calls in certain situations, and it really it does drive you nuts. Like I've been coming home a lot of times, even if I have a good game at the plate and I know that there were a couple balls on the edge that we could have gotten, like it's keeping me up at night. And then you just keep going down the different rabbit holes of what come with that, and you try to make different adjustments. And I was definitely pretty relieved to hear that the umpires are getting graded differently. And I don't want this to come off as a knock against them. I think it's actually impressive that they've made this change, and not only have they made it, but as the league, you notice that it's been smaller. So I think it opens up more conversation with them too. I mean, I always like talking to the guy behind me. I just enjoy that interaction. I enjoy that part of the game, and it's definitely been a topic that I've been trying to work with these guys to make myself and the staff better.
Let's talk a little bit about some changes you made and dig in. Let me explain to me what you changed and why you're banging.
Well, I appreciate it. Really getting back to doing what had worked for me in the past and what felt comfortable is what's really helped. This off season, I don't have a hitting guy back home. I have a couple coaches that I talk to and bounce ideas off of, whether that's from back home or guys that I met coming up in the minor leagues or even here in the big leagues now. But um, I hit up my buddy that came with me. He came to feed the machine with me every day in the winter. His name's Kyle, and I texted him after, I forget what series it was, but a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "Hey man, just give me some thoughts on things we were talking about," because he would just go and feed the machine and listen, and I would bounce ideas off him, and shot me a text, and I realized, I was like, "Wow, this is completely different than what's going on in my head right now." So I got back to those things, the things I really wanted to maximize my strengths doing, and it's helped so far.
How much do you not want an off day when this kind of thing happens? I mean, you're in there catching and DHing. Do you go to the field ever going, man, like I'd rather hit up the catching duties tonight, but I guess it's okay that I'm DHing because I'm hot.
I want to be in the lineup every night, and I think everyone knows that too. I've been vocal about that in the past, and whether it's going well or bad, I want to be in there. It doesn't matter either way. Obviously, you're happy when you're playing better, and you're trying to learn and stay in the process when things aren't going well. But I want to play regardless. I love to play whether it goes good or bad, and I don't think that'll ever change.
We were just talking about first base. A lot of times guys are like, oh yeah, catchers, like, got to get him in the lineup. We'll put him at first base. Nothing against Nolan Shanawell, but how much harder is it to actually play a big league first base because you're swinging it right now. So they want you in the lineup. They want Travis d'Arnaud to play too. So both of you guys get in there, bang, your offense is better. Now if, first base opens up or for you, is that something that dudes can just be like, "Oh yeah, you know what? I'll just go in and play first base. No big deal. It's just a big league game."
I definitely don't view it that way. I'd be terrified to be at first base if you threw me in there tonight. So that was definitely for Nolan to cover. If I do have an off day and I'm just sitting around, I do like going out to shortstop and just riding on Neto the entire time. That doesn't carry any weight on what I would do in a game, but it's just something fun to do. Um, But either way, I want to be in the lineup regardless, and um, I hope selfishly that it's not first base just yet.
Well, understood. But DH it. So I used to have to DH too sometimes, and I hated it because when
Hmm.
you're catching, you're involved in every pitch. What's your routine as a DH? Because a catcher, you don't have a lot of time to think about. You're at bat. You're like, oh man, I'm up. Oh gosh, I got to get my stuff off. Got to get my batting gloves, helmet, and my bat, and let's go. Where your DH, you're sitting there sometimes for 2, 3 innings. You're like,
Hmm.
oh my gosh, now and you have
Yeah.
3 innings sometimes to think about your at bat. So how do you mentally stay focused on the game when you're just a DH?
It's a real thing. It's things that I don't think people realize. It's a tough thing mentally to adjust from that. When I was younger, I used to get in the cage and take a bunch of swings, and then I would get in my actual bats that mattered, and I was a little tired. So now I'll take my bat and sit down and try to stay off the iPad and stop looking at everything, so I can keep my mind a little quiet. And then when I do feel like I need to get hot again, I'll go down in the tunnel and ride the bike for a little bit. Usually wherever I'm at. Like last night, I was hitting fifth. I'll go down there at the bottom of the lineup, or when Neto's sitting at the top, and get myself loose for a little bit, and then that keeps me pretty locked in. And staying on the top step and just staying engaged in the game helps too, as far as the mental side of being in it. So I'm just starting to get the routine now, and I haven't DH'd a whole lot in my career, but I definitely didn't expect to take this long to find a good routine.
Hey, so while we're on the DH topic, I mean, obviously this part's not fun. Your boy Mike Trout is hurt. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, I know initially when the team brought in Jorge Soler this offseason, there were questions like, hey, shouldn't Trout get some DH time too? He wants to stay on the field. And the thought
Hmm.
process was Trout's crazy in terms of prep. He's just going to sit there or not sit there and take hundreds and hundreds of swings. So now that you get to observe, your routine as a DH, can you relate to that in any way? Do you feel like there are some guys that would have trouble not taking so many swings that it can almost lead to an injury, right? Like I remember
Yeah.
there's a few guys in the past who would get stuck with DH, they wouldn't know what to do, and they would do too much.
Hmm. Um, I mean, anyone that's been around Mike knows how hard he works, and the part they don't see and don't talk about is how much he does take care of his body. So as hard as he works, he's taking care of his body just as more. And it's pretty impressive to see how much time he puts into all that. So um, obviously, hate to see it for him. From what I'm hearing, it's not as severe as things in the past, so we'll be back pretty soon, and still around the boys, and we're still learning from him. As far as myself, selfishly with that, um, I've definitely done that before, where I've taken a lot of swings, and I think it's been counterintuitive with what I'm doing. I know in 23, when I tore my labrum, I looked back in that off season, I was taking a lot of swings every day, man, and I don't know if it directly correlated to that. But I think that could have definitely been a factor for myself, personally. But more than that, more than my body being in shape, I think my mind being clear is even more important. So if I take more swings, I'm thinking more, and that seems to cloud my mind a little more. So now I'm learning there's a little discipline in getting away from the game and trying to do less. It's not an easy thing. Not an easy thing when I've been taking swings in the past, but it's helped me so far.
All right, one last DH question. When I see that a catcher, that there's only two catchers on a roster and they're both in the lineup, one of them's DHing, my mind immediately goes to what pitcher, if they ever have to take cement feet Travis d'Arnaud out for a pinch runner and you got to come in and catch as the DH, what pitcher do you see getting in at bat first in the 11th inning when you guys are tied up?
Hands down, Tyler Anderson. That was one of the easiest questions you guys have ever asked me. TA for sure. I actually want to see it before before I mean he ends his career or goes somewhere else or whatever it is. Or I hope he stays with us long enough where he is getting plenty of at bats for us. But I definitely want to see that at some point.
Logan, is the reason you DH last night because you started a game a week ago at 6:29, and then you guys had to travel to Minneapolis and all over the country, and everyone complained about that? I mean, is that why you have to DH more because you're still tired from that trip? Which, by the way, was complete crap. So you can answer it. I know how you have to answer it, but as a former player, that was crap.
I don't see any correlation to that from last night. Yeah, it's things outside of our control, and um, yeah, I mean it's outside of our control, and we learn with it. And um, I'm a big believer in doing things that make you uncomfortable. I think you come out better on the other side of it. I think that was a good opportunity to practice that. And yeah, we got a good schedule going forward.
FT fan by now, you know, if you're buying, selling, trading, collecting cards, Arena Club is the spot. We've been talking about them all season long, but I do want to focus on the slab pack experience, Kratz, since you've been ripping some slab packs digitally. And what happens?
I mean, as a kid, you wanted to rip open the packs. How can they do this digitally? Oh, baby. This is exciting. How the graphics come out and everything. And oh, yeah, the card that you pull, you can actually get that, John, physically. So it's perfect. It's all in one place, and it's a super exciting experience.
Yeah, they send that to you from the vault if you want it. But if you look at it and you're like, it's not the card for me, I want to sell it back, go for it. You can do any of that on Arena Club, and you can acquire the best value for your money with those slab packs, transparent checklists, and Arena Club's Slab Safe program. Right now, you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/FAL and use code FAL. arenaclub.com/FAL, use code FAL.
Are you and Neto the core of this team going forward? I know you're going to throw Shanawell in there, but you and Neto are off to great starts. Are you guys the core? And when you guys kind of look at each other as shortstop and catcher and you think like, we're going to be here for the next 10 years and we're the face of the Angels going forward?
That was my guy. We do understand that we have plenty of guys in that clubhouse that have been doing a lot longer than we have. So it's definitely their clubhouse to run. Don't get me wrong. And we're still learning from them. I know we're in, year 3 now. So we're still learning and still trying to come into our own and take control of our careers. But that's my guy, man. I love playing with him, love spending time with him off the field, and wouldn't want to do it with anybody else.
When you have a dude that you got to back up, he hit the dinger off of Scooble the other day, and Scooble struck him out, and he had his words. You know, we saw the kind of altercation. Did you look out there, and did you kind of like stand by Neto and go, can you get somebody a little bit smaller than Scooble? Or are you like, nah, like, I'm good. I got this guy.
I'll back up my boys, whether I think they're right or wrong, and doesn't matter who's out there. I think Tarek would say the same thing. So it was one of those moments where, 2 competitors got a little hot, and I'm going to back up my boys regardless.
Hey, are you happy that Wash said no more team meetings? Are you happy? Because Wash's meetings are pretty funny. I played for Wash. His meetings are pretty funny. So sometimes you just want to have a meeting with Wash to hear what his vocabulary might be.
I've sat in Wash's office strictly so I can leave there with an expanded vocabulary and some content for sure. So I don't think the one-on-one meetings with me and him will ever end. I definitely have my journal open and want to keep making some notes of things he's saying. I enjoy my time with him a lot.
Don't let your mom read some of them notes.
No,
your mom read some of them notes, okay?
Not at all. No. Dad maybe, but mom absolutely not.
Yeah.
He's got some choice words. Logan, I want to ask you about a couple pitchers. I'm going to start on a side where it's been a tough watch and a tough struggle for him, whatever we want to call it. Some fans have asked about Reid Detmers, right? You've caught him, you had about a week ago, the back-to-back appearances where things didn't go well for him. I think that was the first time in his career also, I mentioned this the next day, that he ever pitched and then pitched again, especially in a major league game. This guy's been a starter his whole life. So what are you experiencing, as somebody that's a similar age? This is a guy who was a big-time prospect, and he's had ups and downs so far and hasn't totally found it.
Yeah, it was a week ago when he came back to back, and before that he was shoving. I don't know what the numbers were, but I'd imagine they were unbelievable. Just catching him, you're always confident when Det comes in, and it's been 2-3 appearances where he's struggled, and one thing I'm learning in my big league career now is that 1 or 2 weeks feel permanent when you're in it, and he just is going through one of those times right now. We're not worried by any means. We know what he's capable of doing. We know how hard he works and all he does to hone in his game and really dial in what he has. And I know when he toes the rubber, I'm confident what he can do, and definitely looking forward to watching him get back to what he's able to do.
José Soriano. I just feel like he hasn't been mentioned much on a national scale, right? You guys are playing late games. Team hasn't been in the playoffs the last several years, of course. So give us the goods on José Soriano and how damn good he is, and how if someone sees him on the ledger, right, for a night game, or maybe the Angels are on the East Coast for fans like that, they should check him out.
I'm excited about this one. I'm happy you asked me about him. This guy's stuff is unlike anything I've ever seen, really. Like, the sinker's unbelievable. The secondary pitches are all good. He's starting to develop the split even more. It's fun to catch him, man. He has four weapons that he can throw at any time, and he's a good dude to work with too. And he's open to different ideas, and also knows what he brings to the table and what he wants to do. So he does not get enough credit, and he doesn't get enough recognition. I don't know what it is, the late games or whatever it may be, but it's a fun one when he's on the mound, and I think it's one people should definitely take more note of.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.